As of the time of me recording this video, the June 2026 SAT scores just came out today. And as usual, many people got scores like this. Many people also got scores like this. Really, it's just a common thing every single time we have an SAT score release date. You know, some people are going to have absolutely amazing, unbelievable scores, 1600 level stuff. And then you're going to have other people who just had terrible scores who are out there complaining on different subreddits, different forums online about why the SAT is rigged, why it's bad, all these different things. And I'm making this video really for either of those two kind of people. Probably more for this one than that one, but still, both of those kinds of people. The core truth is, you only got a bad SAT score, or even if it's a good SAT score but not the one you wanted, because of your own mistakes. Now, I know it's not like some kind of revolutionary, unbelievable concept here, but it is something we need to understand and something that a lot of people don't understand really badly. I've heard many people say a bunch of different things about the SAT. Like one very common thing I hear all the time is that I didn't actually study that much for this SAT, so it's okay that I got a bad score. Like, I did a really good job considering that I didn't study at all. I know somebody in my personal life who literally got a very good SAT score, got like a 1450, but she always just tells me I didn't study at all. So it's actually like a really amazing score because it's a lot better than you would expect for somebody who didn't study at all. And the thing that I always think to myself is that this is just absolute cope. Like, there's no getting around it. This is cope on cope on cope, because who really cares about this? Like, who actually cares how much you studied for the SAT? Is the admissions officer for your college that you applied to going to look at your SAT score and think, oh, they only got a 1300 and we typically get 1500 people, but they didn't study at all, so I probably should let them in. You know, they did their best considering they didn't study. Absolutely not. Like, nobody, if you wrote that in your essay, people would just think you're like cringe and crazy. Studying doesn't matter. If you didn't study as much as you want to, that is also your fault. That is also something that you could have avoided. A good example of this might be on the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. You probably know that I currently own another YouTube channel for the SAT that has like 30,000 plus subscribers, and that's really my main channel. This is kind of like the side channel for more raw, unedited content like what you're seeing right here. And I may look at it and be like, hey, I only have 500 subscribers on this channel, but that's okay because I've only posted like 20 videos. So I was like, hey, it's not that bad. I've only posted a few videos. Like, it's really good. 500 subscribers, only 20 videos. But in actuality, I don't feel that way. Like, I should have gotten more videos uploaded. I should have posted more. I had a goal back in May that I was going to post every single day of the month of May. Like, I did not hit that goal literally at all. Like, probably did like less than half of the days I could have. So it's my own fault. It's my own fault that I haven't posted more, and it's my own fault that I haven't gotten more subscribers. This is all just me. I accept that I did it myself. The second thing that you often are going to hear on days like this is this idea that the SAT doesn't test intelligence, that SAT is not an IQ test. You can be really smart and still get a bad SAT score. You can be really non-smart and still get a really good SAT score. And this thing, unlike the first thing, it actually is completely fair. Like, this is a valid thing. The SAT really does not test IQ, especially considering that you have Desmos on the test, you have it online, all these different things. It's not an IQ test at all. But the thing with this that you have to think to yourself is anything really an IQ test? I mean, think about some kind of job. Let's say like you work at like an AI firm. That's got to be like an amazing job, you know, super big, super advanced. You know, you're on the cutting edge of research these days. But really, it's not like if you are more smart, you're more likely to perform well at the AI job. It's just how good do you understand AI? How good are you at this one specific thing? It's the same for any job. Say you're like working marketing. Being good at marketing has nothing to do with whether you're intelligent or whether you're not intelligent. It just matters how good you understand marketing. It's just this one specific field made by humans, made by a bunch of people who are probably about as smart as you. And you're just saying, are you good at these one thing? It's like a game. It's like if you're good at a game like, I don't know, let's say you're good at like Minecraft. It's like you're obviously not like super smart because you're good at Minecraft. You're just good at this one specific thing with set rules, defined characteristics. This one thing, in those constraints, you are good. And so with the SAT, it's the same kind of thing. Like, the SAT certainly doesn't determine intelligence. Nobody's arguing that. Whether you're intelligent or not has no bearing on whether you do well on the test. Ultimately, this is just like a coping thing. It's like, In fact, you probably should have done even better on it, because like if it doesn't matter based off intelligence, it's like, why did you do so bad then? Like what? You're doing bad on a test that doesn't even involve intelligence at all? Like what? Well, like what's going on here? Okay, but anyways, that's just kind of a roast. I don't really criticize you if you got bad SAT score. But we have to first break these excuses, because the truth is, unless we break these excuses, you're probably still going to be saying these same kind of things again and again. And the truth is, there's no way to really even improve your SAT score if this is what you believe. If you genuinely believe that, studying less is better and that SAT doesn't determine intelligence, so you might as well not even study in the first place, how am I supposed to help you at all? Why are you even watching this channel? Genuine question, because like, what do you hope to gain from this, really? Now, this said, I don't expect you guys to like all of a sudden like feel like great about the SAT starting tomorrow. I don't expect you to like suddenly realize, okay, I'm going to log in, I'm going to grind, it's all my fault, I accept personal responsibility, I'm not going to be sad at all. No, because the truth is, SAT scores did come out today, and this is a sad thing. If you got an SAT score that was bad, it's not like you should feel good about this. It's not like you should feel great about this. In fact, I completely get that maybe for today, for tomorrow, for even this entire week, you may be kind of just thinking to yourself, like, this sucks, like, this is terrible. And that's how anything goes in life. I mean, if you break up with somebody, you're not going to just like suddenly start feeling great the next day and say, hey, I accept full responsibility for this, it's all good. If you lose your job, it's not like you're just suddenly going to be like, okay, this is fine, no worries. It's going to take a few days, maybe even a whole week to recover from this, to like accept that this is what happened and to kind of get your bearing again. But after you do get past that point, you can't keep using these excuses. The person I talked about before who had said the studying thing, she hasn't taken the SAT for like 3 years. It's been like years since she took the SAT, and she still believes this thing. So you got to make sure that you aren't still telling yourself this, even, next week, when you do have the ability to make up for this and do have the ability to improve. The second part of this, though, is how do you actually improve your SAT score? How do you make your SAT score go up? Because there's a lot to it, but in actuality, it's a lot simpler than you may initially think. And I've told people this before, but in case you haven't heard it, there's really only 2 things that improve your SAT score, like just 2, like really just 2. And those things are doing more. So if you're currently doing 10 practice questions, if you do more like 20, you'll probably get more results. You'll probably get better results. And the second thing is just the quality aspect of things. If every single time you do let's say a reading passage question like this one, you just read the passage terribly, like you skim over it, you don't read every single word, you just like get the basic ideas, not the whole thing, you're always going to struggle with these questions. Maybe you'll get a little bit better at them, but you're always going to find some difficulty if you're just approaching these questions poorly every single time. That's not going to like suddenly improve for any reason. Same thing with like math. If you never use Desmos, you are never going to improve. If you do word problems and you never actually write down the information, you'll never improve. If you do student notes questions and you never actually choose the most reasonable answer and you just go for the one that looks the best, you're never going to improve. It's these kind of quality things that it doesn't matter how many questions you do, if you're not doing them the right way, you're always going to struggle. And after you get past these 2 things, there's not really much more to it. It's just do more questions and improve the quality on them. There's a bunch of things I can say on this. I have plenty of videos on the channel about these 2 specific things, especially the quality part. But besides this, there's not really much more to it. And there's no real way that you can argue with this being true either. Like, do you really think there's some kind of third factor that goes into this? Do you really think like, oh, it's also like completely luck-based, you never know? Like, that's not true. You do know exactly what's going to appear in the SAT. You do have plenty of practice tests. We have some really good resources on realistic practice questions that I can give you, link in the description. Like, that's clearly not a factor anymore. You may consider timing a big factor, but really this is more just part of quality. If you're doing these questions correctly, if you're doing them well, you are naturally going to spend less and less time on the questions. So that's also just not really that big of a factor. Once you accept that it's really just these 2 things, you actually now have these skills and the ability to really maximize these things and make it so it's the best you can do. You can do more questions. You can look at the amount of questions you're doing right now and think to yourself, I just need to do more. I need to do more questions. You may be familiar. I tried improving my SAT score from basically 1520 to 1550 back in April of this year. And I did it. I did get to the 1550 super score. But ultimately, I probably could have gone a lot higher if I just did more questions each day. I didn't do really enough questions to really get to like 1570 or higher. I probably should, and maybe I will now that I know this fact. Like, it just is the amount at the end of the day if you're doing questions well. And then second thing is the quality. If you can tell directly that there's some question types that you just keep getting wrong again and again to a point where it couldn't just be like random chance, then you know that you need to figure out how to do those question types. I have plenty of videos on the channel about so many different things: passage questions, transitions questions, math stuff, Desmos stuff, all of this on the channel, and more to come as well on the quality facts. So, I mean, you can't really use that as an excuse either. There's so much SAT content these days, even more than there was like 3 years ago. So this can definitely be solved. Now, if you want kind of a useful framework with this, I do want to show you this thing here, which is what I call the loop strategy. This is typically a thing I only have available in my paid Skool community, but I thought I would just give it away for free, just so everybody could see it. And basically, this is a method on how to improve from every mistake. If you find yourself continually doing practice questions and trying to prepare for the SAT, but you're still not improving, consider trying this. This is basically a framework as you do math questions and as you do reading and writing questions to make sure when you make a mistake, you don't, oh, sorry, there's a fly here. When you make a mistake, you don't make that same mistake again. It's this whole thing here. I'm not going to go over each thing because you can just see on the screen this exact process. But like, if you are currently struggling, if you're currently in a position where like you are encountering these issues and you know your quality isn't good and you just want to be better, consider trying this. When you get a math problem wrong, redo the problem. If it's right, move on. If it's wrong, go through the rest of these steps. For reading and writing, first determine the reason for the mistake, determine how to fix it, and then just continue on from there. So this is a really good framework. And if you want a tracker for how to actually use this process to actually make the most of it, check out Mission 4200 Plus, link in the description. I currently have a free trial going, so you can join completely for free, no cost to you, and get that today. Genuinely, if this did help you, share this video with somebody else who needs it, because this is not really like a strategy video. This is just me giving my honest thoughts, and I think some people really do need to be hearing this right now, so consider sharing with somebody else who took the June SAT today as well. Anyways, that's all for me. Hope you do well in the next SAT, and make sure to always stay Gucci.